Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we asked Jason Brauner about what he's able to get at Bourbons Bistro in terms of allocated items and barrel picks, and what he's not getting. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Lenny Eckstein and Jason Brauner.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hello. So Jason Brauner runs the best bourbon bar in the world, and it'll be interesting to talk to him. What kind of stuff does he get in? What doesn't he? Who works with him on the barrel picks? Who doesn't? Should be fun. It should be everybody. Jason should get whatever he wants. But
he's the best bourbon bar in the world.
He's a whiskey icons of whiskey winner. I mean, that should just open the doors up. Anything he's been shut out on, they should be like, oh, you want a barrel? You want to buy a barrel of George T. Stagg? Sure, George, come on.
Why would we not? You want a single barrel pick of Pappy? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Of course. They're like, we don't do that. And they're like, then you show the award. They're like, oh, you didn't say that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yes, sir.
We didn't know. We're so sorry, sir. Yes, come to the back. Here's the red carpet.
Let me get the whiskey thief.
Anything you need, Mr. Brauner.
So I wish it were true.
We'll find out. Maybe it is. We'll see after the break. For right now, Lenny said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Lenny?
Yeah, so last weekend I was out at the ACSA conference, and it was in Portland, Oregon. Okay. ACSA is the industry American Craft Spirits Association. Right. And I usually don't go to these conferences unless they're in Colorado because I get, kind of lazy about traveling if it's not perfectly convenient. But I did want to go out to this one. It was pretty awesome. One of the reasons why I wanted to go out was that the American Single Malt Whiskey Commission was having like kind of a meeting of sorts. And I wanted to meet up with a lot of the folks that I've known of for a long time but hadn't necessarily met. Okay.
Any updates on there before you get into your question?
I know
they put it out there for public feedback and stuff. And where are we at on getting officially defining what an American single malt is?
I think it's not much different than it was ever since the government kind of came out during the public comment period.
Okay.
Everyone expects it to move forward and happen. So I think we're all kind of feeling that way, but everybody's pretty excited about it. There's a lot of traction. Everybody's talking about it in terms of interest, and I could talk about that forever. I think that's
because
the
cool. Big guys are also doing it too. So this is gonna happen. And then, all of a sudden you see Beam and Jack Daniels are doing it now, and all the brands are getting in on the single malt thing. So
and without going off of too much of a tangent, I think it's interesting because in the smallest bourbon circles, you talk to folks and they're like, I don't know about that malt. I mean, it doesn't have corn in it. And now I'm obviously stereotyping, but you hear that and they're like, I don't know if it's going to take off. And my thought is like, guys, you do realize that there's this thing called Scotch that sells a ton all over the world. There's a ton of people who drink Scotch. So to like kind of hybrid that with an American format, I think the future's pretty bright. But more to the point, I'm at this event and enjoying everyone's single malt, and it was like kind of the who's who of everyone making single malt since back in the day. And I was hanging out, and somebody hands me a box and says, "Edible?" And I looked down, and without thinking, I said, "Sure." And I grabbed one and ate it, a little gummy, and hung out for a while, drank a bit more, and then realized I had to get the fuck out of there immediately. So, and this is me. Like if I'm by myself, I'll get
wigging out.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't like being in big social settings where like
Wigging
I
out,
lightly know everyone.
Yeah.
So I sprint out of the building practically, and I run past.
His sprinting looked
a
more
bunch of
like this, though.
Not sprinting, but it
Yeah,
felt like
yeah.
exactly. Yes, it felt like I was sprinting.
He thought he was running.
Oh, yeah.
He was literally just moseying out.
Yeah. I power walked past a guy. Let's see, Robert Licorice, obviously from Iron Root, Matt Hoffman from Westmond, Jared from Balcones. They're all standing there, and instead of saying anything, walked right by him.
Well, sure.
And, yeah, exactly. And I was like, I can't talk to anyone at this point. So
Right.
the next day I ran into Robert, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I saw you last night, but you just kind of power walked by me." And I was like, "Sorry, dude. Such and such gave me an edible. I was feeling tired." And he was like, it makes sense. I don't do that.
Makes sense.
Now that's a long story, but I just wanted to get your guys' take on that. How you feel? If you're the same way I am, where you're like, you know what, I'm good. I'll just sip on my bourbon, or if you mix.
That's me. I just a whiskey guy, so I do not indulge. No. But I think I'm maybe the only one. I don't know. It seems like everyone else gets into that stuff. So it's amazing to me. The more I get into bourbon, it's they're all smokers. They're all into the weed. It's 100% from what I can tell. I'm the one solo holdout who doesn't do that.
Steve, what if somebody had brownies with cannabis and you were really hungry? Would you eat one because they look delicious? Because I did that once also. I was just hungry.
No,
yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
I would decline.
How would you feel if someone didn't tell you and you just ate?
I would be angry. I would be
upset.
Angry. Yeah, I would be upset. Yeah.
It's not like somebody roofied you, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would ultimately. I'm the one who ate the brownie in that example, but I would be mad that they didn't tell me. They don't feel that's right. But that's just me. I'm a person of a high
you're right.
moral.
You should be told if someone is.
I agree. You should be told.
This isn't the Hangover. People shouldn't be just.
You can look at my weight. No, I could easily be tempted by a brownie that you didn't tell me was prepared to say. Sure, I get it. This scenario could happen, but yes. The good news for me is I tend to avoid brownies because I have an allergy to walnuts, and a lot of people put walnuts in there. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you the goddamn walnut thing. So I tend to avoid the brownies.
You're
just
allergic
because
to
of the
walnuts?
Yeah. They make me sick. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Terrible. It's terrible. It is not good. Yeah.
Worst food ever.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I won't make the other two of you admit your guilt of whatever on here. And I'm not going to name names of all the people, but they come in. I mean, there's a crew comes in for an event here locally, nationally recognized bourbon celebrities. They're all fucking, let's go out and smoke some. I'm like, what? Every one of you? You do this?
I think it's a Colorado thing.
Old people. Yeah,
Lenny's allowed to. He does it. He's in Colorado. He's supposed.
St. Louis, you could. Well, in Missouri, you could do. I always think we're just St. Louis, but we have a whole state behind us too. It's not just St. Louis. Missouri has recreational.
I'll speak for Jason and myself here. We would never do that because it is illegal in Kentucky. So we would never do that, and we would not like to ever be accused of doing that. And if anyone has accused us, there will be legal ramifications coming down the pipeline.
I second that.
Yeah. You can make life very uncomfortable for them and their staff if they have one. So yeah, there you go. I guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Mr. Brauner, last show champion. Or no, it was Lenny. Sorry.
I was the last show champion. I'm telling you,
he was the people's champion.
You really had to rub that in, didn't you, Steve?
He was the people's champion, but he was not the actual champion.
Oh, the winner. Oh, just kidding.
We could send it to appeal.
All right, Steve Harvey, chill.
We can send it to the appeal, but I doubt you'll win. It goes to Tim Swiat, who listens to it.
I'm afraid to get it any closer to the mic. I'll just spill it all over my computer here. So
right.
All right, I'm doing the 375 Char 1.
Nice bottle.
They liked it.
I like those 375 bottles you got. I've bought those when you had the beer collaboration that time. Yeah, those were not. I by the way, I love that.
Now watch me spill it all over my computer here, trying to win a cork pop.
Now that's good. So I don't know what happened to your last one where it muffled out, but yeah, it was just Mike Muffle is what got you there. So but this one was good. That's going to be tough to beat. So good. And we got to work on getting the barrel pick on Buzzard's Roost. Someone's got to fill out their goddamn paperwork over there. Who's in charge of this? Who do I need to talk to at the Buzzard's Roost organization?
Judy. It's Judy at buzzardsroostspirits.com.
All right, we'll get on that.
Let's go.
We have people actually asking for it, and we're like, oh.
We don't even know that Jason Brauner guy, so why are you asking?
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Lenny, what do you got there, man?
Well, while I was at ACSA, I ran into Ted Huber, and I figured, super nice guy, by the way,
Sure.
but I got a bottle of Huber's.
All right, a little Starlight.
Yeah, Starlight, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. It was decent for you. It's not enough to beat. Jason had the cannon going there, so he's got the lead. What do you got there, Miss Beka Sue?
I have got some Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey out of where is it out of? Where are they at?
That's Seattle or somewhere.
Yeah, they're in
Washington.
They're in Washington.
Yeah,
Okay, very good. Not good enough though. Not good enough. Jason still has the lead. I got some hazmat rye here from Ryan from 10th Mountain. This is just pulled out of a barrel for me. It's in one of his regular rye bottles, but on the back it has the hazmat sticker. It was just a little friend thing. It's a sample. The legal definition is sample. All right, here we go. Ooh, that was good and bassy. That was maybe the most pleasant of the cork pops, but we don't go by pleasant. That doesn't give you the victory. The victory is for the loudest, so it goes to Jason. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll have this discussion with Jason and find out what's going on at the bistro, what kind of stuff they're getting in, what they're not. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We'll also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking to Jason Brauner about what he's not getting.
Yeah. Well, I think we know that, but let's keep it to
This is a
Keep it
family
bourbon.
show, isn't it?
yeah. Let's keep it to whiskey focused and and find out.
I mean,
What
where do you want me to begin?
So allocated things. We'll talk about barrel picks in a second. So let's leave that aside for the moment. When we just had the big allocated season, we're only in February as we record this. So that stuff usually comes in late fall into maybe early winter. You start getting these things when I'm talking BTAC and Pappy and all that. What kind of stuff did you get in? What did you receive this allocated season, Jason?
Was
it a happy year for you?
Steve, I think the longer I'm in business, the more I get shortchanged. It's like,
Yes.
When we first opened, I was their shining star.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
now it's like, who needs you?
Right.
It kind of feels bad,
They don't remember who got them there. That's the bitch about things, right? Because you were with them. You were with them when they weren't sexy, but now that they're sexy, they're like, we don't need the guys that helped us out to promote us.
So it, and this is the God's honest truth. Back in the day, we would get, and nobody was drinking the stuff really. Nobody was except me, and just stumbling all around. I think one year I got 7, and for an on premise, not an off premise place, I had 7 antique collections.
Man, full.
And I ended up drinking them all myself.
Yeah,
I almost drank myself into the grave there at one point. But
so the allocated thing actually helped probably save your life. Actually,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Yeah. And so now I might get one bottle from one collection, and
That's it, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense. I mean, we order it every year.
Right. You get a bottle.
Yeah. So I don't
All right.
know.
What
I
about
mean,
the Pappy lineup? Everybody cares about Pappy, and you might not care about the hype. Maybe, but having a bar, that's good for business. People will purchase that. So
it'd be nice to have a bottle or two. But
yeah. So what did
that's
you
probably
get?
What I got. I think I got maybe a 10 and a 12 this year. Or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay. So yeah, Old Rip and a Lot B. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best whiskey bar in the country, world, whatever.
Think you'd get something. Yeah. The rye they do, I didn't get to try this year's rye, but the rye is usually, to me, one of the standouts. It's really good stuff. I like that rye they do.
I was at an auction last night, and with some people at the table, and they said, "Well, how much you think?" And they had a bottle of the 13-year rye or whatever it was.
Right.
They said, "How much do you think it's going to go for, Jason?" I said, "Probably $4,000." It went for 3,500.
Yeah.
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 So, I don't know. Times have changed, I think. And I hate to say it's not good old boys club, but it was just a cool little community, back in the day. And we got whatever we sold everything that we could get. And that was what it was. We didn't really have to fight for allocations because granted, there weren't 100 bourbon bars out there, or 1,000 or whatever there are now. We sold everybody equally. We really didn't play favorites, and we did those bourbon dinners. We'd do one a month. We bought barrels from everybody. When everybody's program was real young. But now, we really don't. Kind of got to fight to get barrels, and I'm fight like a girl.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's
kind of sad.
I just say, it's unfortunate, but
Did you get anything cool? Anything that was a surprise that you got, and you're like, oh, didn't know I was going to get this and got it this year?
No, not that I'm aware of. It's starting to open up a little bit, but not much.
Yeah,
I think I got one bottle of birthday bourbon.
One bottle. Okay. One whole bottle.
We used to probably get a case or two.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know where the industry's gone or where it's going, but it's I feel a little, I don't know. My feelings are hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well. It should be.
Because you think you have a better relationship and a better friendship with all these guys.
Well, it's about ready to get worse because we're going to talk barrel picks, and that gets very personal. So let's find out where we're at on barrel picks.
Allocation is allocation. So I'm not throwing shade, but I mean, I'm not throwing shade in one corner or the other. To me, the shade gets thrown across the board.
Right.
So
it's just the industry we're in now.
And it's just the times have changed. Maybe I'm just getting old, that's why old people are so grumpy, because shit changes.
Yeah.
I'm slowly figuring that out as I get older, but the barrel picks are the same deal. I mean, that you've got a lot of all of these companies are expanding. So you've got a lot of younger people running the show, and social media is the darling of the thing. And I guess, with my experience, or, Steve, maybe I could have, I don't speak very well, but I probably could have, if I would have started a podcast, I could probably get whatever I wanted.
Sure.
But, I have, whatever. I'm stuck to my guns and do what I do. And there are still, and I'm not going to, there's still some great partners that'll give us barrels. So, and they know who they are. And
who have you picked recently? Who anything?
We've always got a Knob Creek. I've got Makers. I've got Knob Creek. We've done New Riff. We've done Wilderness Trail. Yeah. I mean, there's the ones that are out there. They know that they're there. It's just become a lot more difficult, especially, when I was kind of first at the bat, and I don't want, sound like I'm bitching about it, but I am bitching about it a little bit,
Right.
It just,
right.
I felt that we helped build some of these single barrel programs,
Right.
And I've built a pretty good following there with the single barrel programs. So to not be able to get barrels, it is very frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a positive or negative, but I guess like the single barrel thing, at least that is at the discretion to some extent, or for all the extent, by the distillery, versus getting allocations that the distributor is going to do distributor shit, and it's kind of
and that's good cop bad cop shit. They're going to blame it on each other.
Yeah, that's true too. Good point. Yeah,
and I think the point I want to get across, Steve, or now that you've asked me, I mean, it's not that I'm a crusader about this whole point. It is what it is that the industry is it has changed, and it is changing. And not that it matters that I was one of the first to bat or whatever, but it seems some of the what's the word I'm looking for? Some, not camaraderie, but
lack of loyalty.
A little bit. You feel like your friends have kind of turned their back on you a little bit.
Right. I'll say this without asking the brand. And you can either elect to not talk about the brand, or you can. I don't know how your comfort level in this, but there's one that you really had a great affiliation with, and you were their first barrel pick that they did, and you have a great number of barrel picks with this organization. What's going on with that? Are you able to pick with that particular distillery? You got anything going on with them, or is that
no? They've really wrote a couple of emails, which I don't normally write. Emails, and just really nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Even though they've actually changed distributors, and I don't think the distributors even tried to work with me, or say, hey, is there any way we can fix this? And would you consider a collaboration with the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri? We could split a barrel from a Kentucky distiller or something like that. That'd be good. I'm sure you've got a lot more pull than I do. We'll see what we can do. Being in St. Louis and all. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And me being here in Kentucky, right in the backyard. I don't know.
Right in the backyard. Yeah.
Hey man, yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. Well, let's work on that. Yeah. Yeah. We work with Kentucky distilleries. So yeah, that'd be good. We don't have any of the big guys don't care about us, Jason. So if you don't mind craft, I mean,
I love craft.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So yeah, the big
and maybe,
guys
and one, I'm going to throw this in there too. Maybe I'm just stubborn too. I mean,
right.
I'm kind of, I don't usually beg for much, or it's like we agreed to disagree. That's fine. But
right. Yeah. What do you think about this, Beka? What do you think about Jason being shut out of all this stuff?
I think it doesn't make any sense because he's the #1 bourbon bar according to Whiskey Magazine. So
yeah, exactly. They
should be giving him all the barrel picks.
Yeah,
they should be going to him.
What I don't get is, in reality, what do you get more publicity from? Do you working with these so-called media people from bourbon, or do you get more from customers sitting in a bar drinking your product? I think you get more. I think you get more traction from people drinking that whiskey. That's my take. I mean, half these people who claim they're in the bourbon media, they don't have any sort of following because you don't need anything to be in this. There's no cost to entry to be a bourbon media person. There's no cost to start a blog. There's no cost to start a podcast. I mean, if you've got a computer, which almost all of us have anyway, boom, you're in the podcasting business. I mean, there's no cost to that. So Jason has a cost to doing what he does. There's a monthly rent he's got to pay, or whatever it is, mortgage or what loan from the bank, or whatever his situation is. We don't need to get into that. He's got monthly expenses, and I want my product represented at his place before any of these other things. So yeah, there you go. That's my point. So, yeah. Well, the big news is though, if the right location opens up by us. Jim and I, of course, we're trying to get our entire plazas that we're in. We want to get that. We want to call it either like Bourbon Land or Bourbon Plaza, and we do want to run Bourbons Bistro West out of our strip mall. we talked to Jason about that. That's in the works. We got our eye on this one place, and if that one ever opens up, we're moving in.
I like Bourbon Plaza better than Bourbon Land.
You wouldn't want to come to Bourbon Land and hang out with us?
Bourbon World.
Bourbon World.
Instead of riding around in those teacups, you ride around in Glencairn or shot glass.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
ride around till you throw up. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Well. So there you go. There's an update on what's going on with Jason. Tough times, despite the boom in bourbon, despite the fact of all the recognition that he gets as being the place, despite the fact he's the original gangster of this.
We're just happy that, like I said, when we first opened, that we were out to educate the world about bourbon, and it seems like, we may have had a little hand in it, but it's taken off, and I'm, regardless, for the whole category of bourbon, it's excelling, and that's all. That's good enough for me.
That's good.
Honestly, it really is. And it's not my, it never was about me personally, and awards and all of that. It was about bourbon. It's about bourbon. It's about Kentucky, and it's about elevating that in everyone's eyes and educating them about it. And so that happens. And I felt that, we've done our part, and we will continue to do our part. And it's cool that everybody's jumping in. They think it's cool as well,
Yeah. Well, yeah, it could be worse. It definitely could be worse. That's for sure. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Lenny, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me and the rest of Deerhammer Distillery on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com. And you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right. Jason.
You've got Bourbons Bistro on the platforms, Buzzard Roost is on the platforms, and I am the Bluegrass Bourbon Baron on Instagram.
You are. And Facebook, there's like 2 or 3 Jason Brauners there, and they have your picture, but none of those are you, right? That you're not on Facebook, right?
I'm not on Facebook.
See, that's bullshit. And people tag you on stuff, and I'm like, that's not him, because I know that, and I'm like, yeah, whoever that is, whoever these fake Jason Brauners are, that's not Jason. So don't.
Maybe they're the ones getting all the single barrel picks.
yeah.
Damn it. I've got clones out there. Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn it! I may
All
start one of
podcasters.
those. I may start one of those fake.
I was gonna say that's hard living if you're trying to be me.
All right, Miss Beka Sue, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Also, come by and see us. You're in St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, we're just 3.5 hours from downtown Louisville. How about that? Maybe work both of these places in on the same trip if you're coming out this way. And check us out, abvbarrelshop.com. At least sign up for our email and text distribution. You'll be in the know then what we have going on. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.